Greetings, this is Mr. Solomon with another edition of Teacher Gaming Desk. This week's episode, number 9, will feature Contraption Maker, which is like a Rube Goldberg machine that students can create and solve puzzles. So I'm going to log in to desk.teachergaming.com, and then if I search by text or curriculum, you can see that I've saved several different lessons. Or you can search for lessons on your own. I'm going to go to my favorited lessons. And here's Arctopia, Switch and Glitch, Faz Game, Machineers, Electric Shocktopus. Some of these we've already had some. And then here is Contraption Maker. So you can add favorites by clicking on the little star. Once you turn it gold, you then have it saved to your favorites. So if I want to do an introductory lesson of building simple machines, I can watch a movie. I can make a copy of this lesson and customize it. That's a new feature. You can now edit lessons. That was in a previous episode. I'm going to start this lesson. So we talk about Rube Goldberg machines. I can then go to the next page. There are resources too. I would probably customize this and show maybe a YouTube video of a Rube Goldberg machine so students can see more of how they're created. And then once I click play, I then have starting the game. So we're going to play a couple of puzzles, then I will skip ahead, and then you can see I can keep track of student progress and see how far they've gotten. So this is how I'm going to leave the screen. Then I'm going to go down to my TeacherGaming app in the dock and sign in with my class code and my student account. Once you sign in, you see the Contraption Maker has a lesson in progress with the green background. So I'm going to launch it. So now I'm ready to launch the game, Contraption Maker, through the TeacherGaming app. This does need to be installed on each client machine. I've changed a couple of settings so I can play this not in full screen, but I'm going to extend my screen a little further. And you can see that it remembers my login and class code. So I'm going to start with puzzles. We'll explore some of these other options as well. And then we'll go through tutorial puzzles first. Good place to start if students have never played before. So if you click the Welcome to Contraption Maker, this gives you a brief introduction. So basically you click play to launch a contraption. And once I do, you can see the ball comes down, moves the soccer ball on the conveyor belt, hits the fist, punches the ball, flips the switch, turns on the fan, and your object is to capture the mouse. So the mouse always runs away from the cat. So not much to do on this first one, other than learn how these contraptions are made. Moving on to the next puzzle. Now students have to add items. So here you're learning how balls move. So the object is to get both 8 balls to bounce off the screen. I'm just going to click play and see what happens first to see how each of these balls react. So looking at this, I can see that the green ball is the one that has the most bounce. So if I reset the puzzle up here at the top, I can then take one of my green balls from the inventory, place that under this 8 ball. It's going to bounce and then push that 8 ball up to the top of the screen, and this one will do it as well. So if I click play, I have then solved this puzzle. So now I know that how balls react. It's time to start solving some of these puzzles in the tutorial section. The object here is get the soccer balls into the brick area in the center. You only have 2 items to work with. So we have rope and we have a teeter-totter. So I can see that over here, the teeter-totter, I have a bowling ball over here that's not doing anything. So if I click and drag the teeter-totter, move that slightly under the ball, the soccer ball, and then you can adjust it by clicking on the adjustment, tilting it down, and then being careful to drag this just underneath the soccer ball. Okay, so that's going to launch the ball, and then this soccer ball over here doesn't have anything reacting to it. So now I'm going to use the pulley. So I'm going to attach a rope to this teeter-totter, come through the pulley, and then move that rope up to the other teeter-totter. So now when I click play, this ball will bounce, activate the pulley, putting this ball in the center, and you'll see how the rest go. So I've just put all 4 soccer balls into the center. Puzzle solved. You can go to the official solution or you can record it. So this next tutorial puzzle, you have 2 items that you have to activate. So you have to get the balloon to go to the top, and the wrecking ball should go to the bottom. So if I reset the level, I can see here, if I just click play, I can see that the scissors cuts the rope so the balloon moves, but nothing is affecting the wrecking ball. So I'm going to reset my level. So I can see here I need to use some scissors, put that next to the ball, and then I need to place a bouncy basketball that is going to make the scissors snip the cord. You also have questions to see how things work, the little question mark, if you're not sure what any of these items are. So now I can see when I snip this scissors, the red balloon will go up, and then this balloon will fall down, activating the snip of the scissors, and the wrecking ball should work. And now we have another puzzle solved. This should take about 1 class period for students to see how far they get on these puzzles. If I go back to my website, I can see how far I've gotten. So I can see that I'm on level 3. And you have belts, gears, plugs, and switches. So you have learning all of the tools through the TeacherGaming app and Contraption Maker. The next puzzle introduces motors and how to change the direction of motors. So the object is to get the cannonballs into the cardboard box. I always like to click play the first time through without doing anything to see what's happening. So I can see that that bowling ball on the left is moving in the correct order, but the bowling ball on the right is not. So if I reset the puzzle, I am then going to duplicate what I see on the left side and put it on the right. So I'm going to put the motor down, and I'm going to connect the rubber band to make it activate the conveyor belt. I'm going to attach a rope to the bucket that then goes to the motor, and if you'll hit play, watch what happens. I see that my bowling ball is not moving in the right direction. So now I need to solve this puzzle by doing some problem solving. So here, this is key, you have a little direction icon here. So now I'm changing the direction of the motor and the direction that the belt moves. So now when I connect this, it's going to work. And if I attach the rope to the bucket and then attach that to the other conveyor belt, now when I push start, the ball will move towards the center instead of towards the outside. Puzzle solved. So clicking on the menu button takes me back to the tutorial puzzles. You can see all the different ones. Some of these we've already completed. And if you click on the little eye, it gives you more information. So you can do these in order or you can skip around. It's up to you. So also at the bottom of the screen, you have 7 different pages of puzzles. So learning about motors, learning about trapdoors, it gets more complicated as you go on. So Contraption Maker is a very sophisticated program, lots and lots of puzzles and activities for students. If you want to click on the home button and I want to go to contraptions instead of puzzles, now I can just play some other games that have already been made. If I go to mods, you can see that there's also games that have been pre-made. Students tend to like the pinball mod. So reaching the highest score. So this is basically a pre-made game. I'm using the arrow keys to work the flippers. And you can see I'm just playing pinball. Bad luck for me. So mods gives you games that have already been made. The Maker Lab lets you create some of your own contraptions when students are ready to do that. You could also go to contraptions, and if I go to sandbox, this lets me do some experimentation and see what's happening. So if I just pick Phil's experiment, for example, use the wrecking ball on the left side of the screen to break his fishbowl. So let's see what happens. Right now nothing's happening. So I need to figure out how to use parts. Most of these puzzles would happen after students have done the tutorials and learn how each of these items function, and how they work. So you can get pretty complicated with some of these puzzles, as you can see. If I go back to the desk.teachergaming app, I can then see how far I've gotten. So you can see that I've done scissors twice, I've done teeters and ropes, and I've done motors. Still got to work on gears and plugs and switches. So this gives you a good assessment of whether students are following the directions and doing the puzzles in order. And I can see who's been doing what. Contraption Maker is a really fun game. Students love playing it. There's lots of things to try. Thanks for watching.